It's like, oh, we thought we were the only ones. Yes.
I'd like to call to order the January 3rd reorganization meeting of the Township of Rochelle Park, Open Public Meetings Act. According to the Open Public Meetings Act, this meeting of January 3rd, 2024 was advertised in the notice sent to the record and posted on the bulletin board in the municipal building on December 19, 2023, and has remained continuously posted as the required notice under the statute and is being taped. In addition, a copy of this notice is and has been available to the public and is on file in the office of the municipal clerk. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father Rich, will you please come up?
Righteous God, we thank you for blessing our nation. We thank you for allowing us to call upon you in a time of need. Thank you for all your bountiful blessings. We are grateful and we bless you. We praise your name, God, forever and ever. For you are the seat of wisdom and power. You control the course of all world events. Loving and compassionate God, in obedience to your word, we make intercession on behalf of those who are in positions of authority here in our town of Rochelle Park, so that we can live peaceful and quiet lives, marked by godliness and dignity. We pray for our mayor, our council, and all of our local leaders. By faith, we call our local leaders to seek the kingdom of God above all else and to live righteously. You, loving God, help them make the decisions that the leaders will be inspired and directed by your Holy Spirit. Holy Spirit, we ask you to fill the hearts of our council with wisdom and knowledge, understanding and discernment. Grant them favor, increase their faith, prepare them to pursue your excellence. Draw them to you, cause them to know and fulfill your purpose. Place people in their paths that will provide soundly and godly counsel. Impart your wisdom and revelation to them. And we make this prayer in God's name. Amen.
I'm going to do a roll call.
We're going to read the published news.
I did it.
You did it right? Okay. Yeah.
Committeewoman Artola? Here. Committeeman Bassetti?
Here.
And Committeeman Miller?
Here. You're going to redo the roll call after you swear.
Yes. I'm going to ask the Honorable Lisa Swain to come up. We're going to go out of order a minute on the agenda. We're going to swear in Teresa first, as Ms. Swain has another engagement.
Yeah, you can. After.
I just have to.
It doesn't matter. You can do it. Lisa can do it. It doesn't matter.
Use the microphone for the recording? No, it should be fine. Putting it. Yeah, there you go.
I just want to say how honored I am to be swearing in Teresa, because not only did she serve on the Board of Ed, but now she has stepped up to be a council member in Rochelle Park, and that really says something about you and your family. So, and thank you for sharing her with this committee. Okay. I state your name.
I, Teresa Judge Capella,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith
that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in the state
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of these people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of Township Committee
of Township Committee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
So help me God.
And,
Congratulations. Oh, okay, just don't want you to forget this one. Okay, okay, look this way.
Thank you so much.
Okay, all right.
Just two of them.
Hi, my name is Gail Rottenstreich. I'm a council member from Fairlawn, and I'm here representing WeDo, the Women Empowered Democratic Organization, and it's our honor and pleasure to present you with this certificate of achievement for becoming elected and for becoming a Rochelle Park County Committee member. The mission of WeDo is to give women a seat at the table and get women involved in local politics and see more women elected to local office. So we are really proud to have helped you in that mission, and we know that you're going to be helping and mentoring other women as well.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
And on behalf of District 38, Senator Joe Lagana, myself, and this is Assemblyman Chris Tully, all three of us represent everyone. We also have a proclamation for Teresa, which you can read later. So,
Teresa, congratulations to you. We actually also want to ask Jen and Tommy if you come up. Congratulations to you as well.
we do have a proclamation for you as well.
On behalf of the T38 State Senate and General Assembly, Rochelle Park is a proud community, and we're so happy to see all of you to say congratulations here tonight, working in a bipartisan fashion to move this community forward. So thank you so much for all your service, and good luck. Congratulations. Congratulations to you. Congratulations. Can you take a quick picture? You, sir? Thank you so much. You're the main event.
Is anybody on the That's all. So,
Thank you.
take care.
It's nice to see you. So
At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Barbieri to come up and Jennifer. Apici. John, here's the Bible. Hi, Hayden.
Do you have Teresa's nameplate? Yeah. Is your nameplate up there?
Yes, I already did.
Do you have the Robert's rules?
Yes.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Joe Barbieri, I'm an attorney in Hackensack, and I've had the pleasure of knowing Jen for several decades, and I know she's going to do some really great things for the great people of Rochelle Park, and it is a privilege to stand beside her, really an honor to stand beside you today. So without further ado, please repeat after me. I, Jennifer Rapice, do solemnly swear
I, Jennifer Boots, do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the governments established in the United States and in this state,
and the governments of the United States and the state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially, and justly perform all of the duties
justly perform the duties
of the Township Committee
of Township Committee
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
and so help me God.
Congratulations, Jennifer. Good.
No, it's not just specifics. Ready to come up, yeah.
Yeah.
Then, once Jen gets up, you can take a roll call. Cool.
Also, while Jen's coming up, just want to let everybody know after the meeting, there will be coffee and donuts in the senior center. That the PBA so graciously.
Police Foundation.
Oh, I'm sorry, the Police Foundation. Oh, thank you. Committeewoman Apici? Here. Committeewoman Artola? Here. Committeeman Bassetti?
Here.
Committeewoman Judge Crivello?
Here.
And Committeeman Miller?
Here.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to open up the floor for nominations of chairperson, AKA mayor. I'd like to nominate Vinnie Bassetti. Is there a second? I'll second. Okay. Any other nominations? Committeewoman Artola?
Is it Peachy first? Oh,
Yes, I know. Oh, it messed up, I'm sorry.
okay, just making sure.
Committeewoman Apici? Yes. Committeeman Bassetti?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Crivello?
Yes.
And Committeeman Miller?
Yes.
Congratulations. Mark, you want to do the
The oath of office?
office for mayor?
I think you do, Anne Marie.
Oh, I do?
Yeah, Anne Marie, the clerk does that.
I do. Come on. state your name.
I, Vincent Anthony Busetti,
Solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform all duties of mayor
and justly perform all duties of mayor
for the Township of Rochelle Park,
for the Township of Rochelle Park,
according to the laws of the Township,
according to the laws of the Township,
State of New Jersey,
State of New Jersey,
and Constitution of the United States of America,
and Constitution of the United States of
to
America,
the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Yep. Okay, Mr. Mayor, you can take over.
Right in here. Should be here. So that's where it is. That should be right there. So you can take motions for deputy mayor. This time, I'd like to open up the motions for deputy mayor. As mayor, I'd like to nominate Jen Peachy as deputy mayor.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Committeewoman Apici?
Yes.
Committeewoman Ortola?
Yes.
Mayor Bessetti?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
And Committeeman Miller?
Yes.
Congratulations, Jen.
No. You can go just what you stand here.
You can do it over here if you want, this way she doesn't have to go too far.
Yeah, you can do it.
Let me get the Bible. Oh, you got the Bible. You're good. Oh, here, do you need this?
Pass that on.
I state your name.
I, Jennifer Peachy,
Solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same,
and to the government established in the United States,
and of the United States,
and in this state under the authority of the people,
and in this state under the authority of the people,
that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all of the duties of office of deputy mayor.
and that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of the office of mayor.
At this time, the presentation for fire commission is going to be postponed. There's an illness going on, and they're not able to make it, so they're going to postpone it to the next meeting.
So they're gonna let me know either the January 24th meeting or the February 14th. They'll let us know. I talked to the chief today.
Ask me again. We're going to open up to the committee reports.
If nobody has anything to say.
Unless anybody has anything to say, I'll start with Judge Cabell.
Thank you. This is a very big seat to fill. Thank you so much, and thank you to Linda for all her service.
Good evening, everyone. It is my honor and privilege to be sworn in this evening as a Township Committee Councilwoman. Special thank you to Assemblywoman, the Honorable Lisa Swain. I know she has left already, but, and I must express my sincere gratitude to the Assemblywoman for taking time out of her busy schedule to give me this privilege. Also, thank you to all the voters and residents who entrusted in me this position to work on your behalf to move this town forward in a positive manner. But mostly a special thank you to my family, friends, supporters, and my running mate, Tommy, who worked to help me get into this elected seat. I must recognize my twin granddaughters, Kayla and Kenzie, for holding the Bible once again for Grandma. You both are my world, and Grandma loves you very much. Also, my daughters that were here, Christine, Kathleen, and Brianne, also Tyler, who is my daughter's boyfriend, but for a long time, maybe someday, we'll see a ring, maybe. We recorded here? Okay, just so. They've always been there for Mom, and whenever I need their support and help. I guess my biggest supporter was my late husband, Richard. You'll always be my rock, and I miss you very much. I look forward to working with my fellow committee members in a positive manner and productive for the betterment of this township, and I thank you all for being here. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Obviously, a very special congratulations to Teresa Judge Crivello. Teresa, I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for your family. I'm so proud of you. I know you're going to do a great job.
Thank you.
Also, obvious additional congrats go to Mayor Bassetti, Deputy Mayor Piche. I'm super excited to work with this entire committee to put the residents first and give this community a local government that they can trust and believe in and one they rightfully deserve. Thank you so much.
Jen,
I just want to say thank you to everyone who believed in me, who elected me. Thank you to Gail and Benny for the nominations. Thank you for everyone for the nomination and the beliefs. Thank you to my family and friends for being here for me. Thank you to the community, and I look forward to working with everyone for our community and going forward. Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. My sincerest apologies for being late. They call it Murphy's Law. The one time we have a 6 o'clock meeting and I couldn't make it in time. I got a call for a 2 o'clock emergency shipment at work. So the 8 recipients of the medication, thank you for waiting. And also, especially to the ones who had other appointments, I'm really sorry for keeping you waiting. I'm here. I got here as quickly as I could. So in the sign die meeting, I would have thanked Karen and Linda for their years of service, and to our newly elected, re-elected, and welcome. It's new changes, and we look forward to moving this town forward. So thank you all, and Happy New Year.
I'd like to start off by thank you for the nomination with Jen, and Gail seconded it. I appreciate the support. Also from the new members of the table, Tommy and Judge. I know Teresa, Judge. Both of you are both tirelessly helping the community. Teresa, you've been around forever, and I do appreciate it. I look forward to working with you guys. Looking forward to having an open dialogue more with everybody. Hopefully we'll all should be getting along. I just want to thank everybody for this. Thank you. Administrative support?
Nothing other than look forward to working with some returning and new members on the dais. And again, wishing everybody the best 2024.
Attorneys?
No, nothing. I just look forward to the opportunity to work with the new board moving forward.
Congratulations to all the newly elected, the new mayor, the new deputy mayor, and look forward to working with everybody.
Yeah, and at this time, I'd like to make a motion, open up meeting for public.
I'll second.
Committee Woman Rotola?
Yes.
Committee Woman Judge Crivello?
Yes.
Committeeman Miller?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Pichi? Yes. And Mayor Bassetti?
Yes. At this time, it looks like nobody's stepping up to the mic. Look for a motion to close public portion.
We have someone.
Hold on. No problem.
Good evening, Mike Schneider, 125 Howard Avenue, Rochelle Park. First of all, congratulations to all the newly elected and re-elected. Hopefully, you all do a good job for us. Just curious if there's any updates on the FEMA grant and the house raisings that are going to go on? Is anybody-
There is. So actually, one of the resolutions on tonight is the awarding of the request for qualifications to Black and Beach, who will be handling that for the township. We were granted the award, so we're in the process of hiring an outside consultant who will come in and work with the 13 individual homeowners on getting that money and getting that process started. So that's where we're at.
Two questions on what you just said.
Sure.
Is there a time frame on the grant?
Yes, of course, it's 3 years, so
It's 3 years,
Yeah.
okay. And the 13 houses, have any of those folks been notified yet?
we were waiting for this resolution, so I know that we have the proper notifications going forward.
know what?
And it's all, yeah, so by the time FEMA got us the notice, the state police, it was late in November, and then December, nothing took place until this meeting, so.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else from the public that would like to speak?
Good evening, Mary Ellen Pardo, 161 West Oldest, and again, welcome, thank you to the new committee members, and look forward to a new beginning here. Quick question for you. I know sometimes we have the Nixle alerts that come out when different roads are closed or things like that. I just have a question. I am very leery of people coming to my door. I don't like when they come with solar panels, Verizon, selling candy bars, and I'll admit, I'm the first person who's calling and just asking, do they have a permit? And then I hang up and I don't know if they do or don't. Is there any way we could do like a Nixle alert and just say, Verizon's coming around today, or solar panels, so we at least know you know?
I'm surprised you're saying that they don't tell you, and if no permit's been issued, I don't think permit's been issued in a long time, so
You think they have not?
when did this occur? You called the police department?
2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, and they come at like 5:30, which it's jet blackout, like I'm not answering my door.
Yeah.
And there's
So-
3 gentlemen, and so I call, I don't ask like for an answer, I just say, I just want to let you know they're here, they're on West Oldest, just clarifying they have a permit and it's in their hands. I don't expect them to answer to me.
We do.
Oh, okay.
I would expect them to
Oh.
answer to you. You're the resident.
Okay,
calling
well,
for
again,
assistance, so-
I don't wait for
I will
the
follow up.
answer.
I don't know about the Nixle because, they may get a permit for a month period and only come out of 8 of those days.
Oh, okay,
They're
so it's not
required to
just
check
on
you.
Tuesday they're
So
going.
We
Right.
can look at that process and see how we can
Okay,
improve it.
I mean, just to alleviate you getting my
Absolutely,
call.
but Never, no. Don't
Right.
ever think you were burdened
Right.
to the police department.
Right.
Call
Okay.
every time.
Okay, thank you. Have a good night.
Yeah.
Happy New Year, Michael Warren, 181 West Oldest. I wasn't planning on coming up to talk, but congratulations, Teresa, and congratulations, Jennifer, congratulations, Vinny. I really believe things are changing for Rochelle Park. I'll leave it at that. Dean, I think you should look up an ordinance. Oh, my God.
You get zapped?
You wish, Dean,
No,
right?
I don't.
All right. In 2017, I voted on, I moved and voted for an ordinance, a no-knock ordinance. It should be on the book still. It's a $1,000 fine if you don't have a
I'm very
permit.
curious if permits were issued. I don't recall seeing any, and I don't
Okay.
recall hearing or seeing background checks.
And we also have,
I'm gonna look into it.
we gave out stickers or little placards that you can put on your door. If you guys remember, you probably remember that. It wasn't that long ago, but we have it. It's on the books. Let's start finding those people, because actually Verizon came 2 days in a row today. And they don't just knock on your door and ring it. They open your door, like your porch door, and they're like, so, a little aggressive, but we do have that on the books. So if you look into that, you guys should have that. And thank you. Have a great rest of the night. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for pointing it out.
The crowd was just curious about any interviews for any of the appointments that may take place tonight. I know I'm waiting on one for myself, but for the zoning board, tomorrow's the reorg, so I wasn't sure if I was going or not. But that was the only thing that the crowd has been kind of murmuring about. So there you go. Thank you.
Yeah, I wish that we could do the appointments before the public comment, because I think that makes the most sense, especially because your tax dollars are funding these professionals, so you should be able to speak to it.
We didn't really get many requests, so it should be straightforward what our plan to do. There was no 5 people for one position type thing. So everybody pretty much will.
Yeah, well, there were for some, but again, I'm gonna bring that up later.
Okay. Anybody else from the public portion? At this time, I'll make a motion, ask for a motion to close the public portion.
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Miller?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Peachy?
Yes.
And Mayor Vassetti?
Yes. Before we go any further, I have a township committee pin. I want to present to Teresa Cavallo. I should have did it earlier.
Oh, thank you so
I was
much.
just doing a procedure.
Okay, thank
Consent agenda. Yeah, you're gonna read the consent agenda statement.
All items listed under each heading are considered to be routine, non-controversial by the township committee and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a committee member or citizen so requests, in which case the item will be considered separate and is normally sequence of the agenda as part of the general orders. Resolutions will be 024-001 in sequence to 024-026.
46.
So I have some resolutions I'd like to poll.
Yep.
So let's poll 024044, 2024 meeting dates. I would also like to poll resolution number 024019 all the way to 024045, because I think it's important that this committee votes on the professionals individually and not all at once. I think it's important for the public to know the names of the professionals that we're appointing as well.
Tell me, was it 19 through 1 which?
To 45.
45.
009.
So 219, Tommy, to
45.
To 45.
45, right?
Correct.
Okay.
I'd like to pull the 024001 resolution of adopting the 2024 bylaws, because I'd like to know what the updates on all those bylaws. I have a piece of it, but I think that we need to have a discussion on that,
Okay.
if you don't mind.
Any others?
In a motion to pull us? You want a motion to pull those off the consent agenda?
Yep.
Yeah, anyway, make a motion.
I'll make a motion to pull those motion off the consent agenda. Anybody second?
I'll second.
This time there'll be.
So just for clarification, it's resolutions 024-001 and then resolutions 024019 through 024045 have all been removed from the consent agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do you want to pass the consent agenda as amended first and then discuss those? Mayor,
I'll make a motion to pass the consent agenda
as amended?
as amended.
I'll make the motion. You're a second?
I'll second.
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Miller?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Peachy? Yes. And Mayor Vassetti?
Yes.
Do you want to take these in order? If you do, then Committeeman Cavello may want to go first.
Yep.
Because it's 01.
As
Just a
suggested by the council, we'll go in order as committeewoman
Judge Cavillas, you can go first. You started.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Zero one.
so understand, were these bylaws updated and when?
So so the committee's aware, which I think they are, I made revisions to the bylaws pursuant to various discussions that took place over the past year with regard to the changes. I had made the changes and track changes, and I sent them to the clerk to be circulated to everyone on this township committee. I supplied both a clean version and a version that is in track changes, so they could easily be identified, and every change is obviously subject to any discussions or questions that anyone would like.
Yes. First of all, when you did the amendment, I have it down listed as amended of 3/13/29. That needs to be corrected. That's incorrect on the bylaws. That's the first date. If you look at the bottom on this resolution on it. Also, I think that you have where the agenda, I'm trying to find it here, but where the agenda is coming out, I believe it says to the township committee persons that that's a special meeting, that it's 48 hours before the agenda comes out to us, 48 hours before. Now, we have a meeting Tuesday night, 48 hours before we're taking the weekend. I'm sorry, Wednesday. So, I mean, it would take you into Monday, maybe the weekend. Is there a possibility we can extend that a little longer, maybe get it prior to the weekend and just add, another, couple more hours?
By law, it's 48 hours, but the
Right.
township committee is obviously free to make whatever changes or revisions they want to their bylaws and abide by those.
So if that's possible to do, I would like to, if everybody agrees, of course, if we can have it by the Friday prior to the meeting. And this way, you have a weekend in a couple of days, and of course, then on Monday, you could give a call if you have a question or concern about it. I know other board I worked on, have been part of, we always had it, pretty much in advance to be able to do so. And if there needs a resolution for a question, or you have to research something, the administration has time to do it and get back to you before the meeting. So if that would be agreeable to everybody? I just want to put that one out there.
Which section you referring to? Is it section 5?
Section 5.
Article 3, section 5, so everybody's aware of what the committee is referencing.
Right. So if that's, possible to do, I think it would be only fair because, look at what's on this resolution tonight. There's a lot of stuff on here, right? So we need to do a lot of research too. I don't know how everybody else feels about that.
No, I absolutely agree. This committee does need time to be able to review the agenda, and also the public needs time to observe the agenda as well. So I'm totally in agreement.
So all the changes we'll do at the end, is that what we're going to do? If we decide to change anything, we agree at the end, or we do it individually?
You may want to take votes individually, because I don't know if there's going to be agreements to some. It's up to the township committee in terms of how you want to handle that. But if there's going to be various revisions, you may want to take them individually. And unless you take them all, if you agree on them all, then you just pass them all at once.
So I would suggest that if we want it the weekend, before the weekend, that it would be a draft agenda, because there will be changes. We saw like some resolutions, there's deadlines, there's decisions that have to be made, just like the one that was mentioned before about the flooding. So I would think that it would have to be a draft agenda.
Well, normally when you put our first agenda, it is normally a draft. That's why you have the opportunity to look it over and to question or make comments or whatever. So normally it's the first one is considered draft, but if you want the language of that put in there, that's fine too. We could do the first one as.
Yeah, I think trying to make it a drop dead by, a set time that, I think the clerk will need some flexibility on that. But it would be good to have the draft agenda, that we could at least get a head start on some of those things that you want to research and look up and,
Well, everybody would want to do that, right? Everybody would like to see if something.
Sure.
Right?
I mean, you brought it up, so I'm speaking it to you, but yes, to any of us. But I would say draft before the weekend.
Right. Okay. And then I know that I'm trying to find out, I'm looking at your bylaws here, because bylaws are how a committee functions and how they work. And I'm looking at the way you have the meeting set up here, and you have the Pledge of Allegiance and go on, presentation, proclamation, and then you open to the public. open public for all meeting of all items. And I may suggest that if you want to do that, you can open to the public for agenda items only. And then maybe after all the reports are done that you have on your agenda here, then you can open it up for any items. Is there a problem with opening it twice, Attorney?
There's no legal problem with that. It's at the pleasure of the board in terms of how you guys want to do that.
So here's why I'm saying so. Because you can have a question on just the agenda items only, right? And that could be answered quickly. But sometimes, after the meeting, after the reports are done, there might be questions, right? And people may say, well, how is this or why is that or anything could happen. So is there a possibility or a way of putting it at the end also? Not for every meeting. You could just do it for, say, work session if you want, or for regular meeting. You could pick either or to do that if you'd like to do it that way also. So in the previous board, I'm not comparing, but I'm just saying that a lot of times it was, if you had a work session, you open up to the public one time, and then if you had a regular meeting where you had a lot of the reports put out there, you would open it up twice. One for agenda, because a lot of times it's just questions on what's on your agenda. What does this mean? How does it go? But to me, to be public and transparent, I would like to say, well, here's my committee report. You have a question on it. I think that's publicly fair.
I was surprised to see that. Why is the public portion in the 2024 bylaws before the committee reports?
So, I mean, it's up to the decision, of course, the committee, but it's something that I think would be probably, like I said, you could do it, if you want to compromise, you could do one with the work session, just have the one open, and then with the regular meeting after all committees, because a lot of times what I notice is that you mostly defer your committee reports to your regular meeting, right? You don't usually do it in your work session. I see a lot of heads nodding here. So, it's a suggestion, you could take it or not, but I think it might work. It might work well.
I just want to add one point to it.
Yeah.
The committee woman. The only thing that my suggestion would be as the attorney is that whatever you decide to do is fine, as long as you're allowing the public to speak to you before you pass resolutions. There has to be a public portion early enough, because the whole point of the public portion is that you get to hear from the public about how they feel about what you're voting on. So if you're going to do it that way, one of the public portions should really be before you pass any resolutions. Otherwise, you are robbing the public of their opportunity to tell you how they feel about what you're going to pass.
Well, that's what I just said, Councilman.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Attorney. I just said you would do it for agenda items only at first, and that's where your resolution would be. Maybe I didn't make myself clear, but I believe that's what I said, because your resolution should show up on your agenda, yes? So if you open that up and somebody has a question about it, it may be covered that way. Again, it's up to everybody else, but I'm just giving a simple suggestion.
And I wasn't saying that to not agree. I was just saying that to make it clear, to clarify exactly how you guys should do it, not to disagree with what.
So we used to do it the way you're suggesting. What was happening was people were getting it confused. Like, you could only speak on agenda items only. There was fear that they weren't going to get to speak about other items. We had to turn people away from the microphone. It offended them. It was, for people who don't regularly come to meetings, it was confusing. We consolidated, and it made the meetings go very long. What we decided to do was consolidate to just one public open session per meeting, which made more sense. Maybe move it, but I don't think we should go back to two.
Well, you can't move it because, as you heard councils just say, that you have to have some discussion. You couldn't just move it to the end. You'd have to.
No, not to the end.
Right.
But
so basically,
after the point that you're suggesting. Not
you want to leave it the way it is. That's what you're saying right now?
You're suggesting that we move it to after the committee reports.
I'm suggesting two. I'm
Okay.
suggesting two.
I don't think two because of the issues that I brought up. However, if we have one, but move it until after the reports.
You can't, because the council just said that you have to let the public have discussion on any of the resolutions, right? So you can't move it till after the way it's set up here.
We'll change the order.
Whatever you'd like to do, if you want to change.
Yeah.
That's, change.
Because right now, how it is isn't even how this meeting was run. how it's listed right here in the 2024 bylaws, the public portion is so early on in the meeting. So I'm not sure how that happened.
Again, it's a suggestion. If you don't think that if it's
I
a
think
fit,
two, we really eliminated the two because of the confusion that it caused, but consolidating to one. But I think a good compromise is to change the order.
So where would you like to put it?
So
So would you like the committee reports to go up higher and before, so in other words, where you have the, right where it says on here, the proclamations, you could put the committee reports there. Is that where you'd like the committee reports to go and then open to the public? Is that what you're talking about, to move it?
yeah, to eliminate the issue that you're suggesting, yes.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine with me too, that's fine, but I think those are questions of people who give committee reports, and sometimes that comes up and they don't have a chance to speak about it or ask a question about your report, right? So fair is fair, and that's my opinion on that. So, what do we have to do to?
Are there any other revisions? Does anybody else have any other questions or discussion points about the bylaws?
I would like to see live streaming happening during the meetings. I'm not saying that it has to be live streaming with questions, but I think that this would be a great opportunity to promote transparency, to promote accessibility, and I would love to see live streaming happening during the meetings. So if folks can't make it, they're still able to see what's happening in this chamber, and they're still able to stay well informed.
But let me ask you a question with that, Mr. Miller. With the live streaming, would you have, during COVID and everything, and we did have it up there at one time.
Yeah.
That people could ask questions?
I would say it doesn't have to have questioning from home,
Okay.
but just give people the opportunity to watch the meetings from home. Yeah.
That's all I have right now. That's all I have for the bylaws right now. Thank you.
Ask if anybody has any more, or you can call for a motion.
Anybody else have any additional questions or call for motion for the votes?
The other way that we could do this, Township Committee, there's two ways that you could do it. You could take votes now on each individual item, or you could come to a consensus of the changes that you want me to make. You can table the bylaws, I can make the revisions, circulate them to everybody else again, and then you could pass the revised bylaws at the next meeting.
I think that would be great.
That might be a better way. Then you could read it through. If there's any other questions or issues you have between now and then, you could address those with me directly, and you could be confident at the next meeting. Okay? The bylaws would just stay as they are, and then the next meeting you guys can do it that way.
So you have taken notes on what?
Yep. I just want to make sure, since we're in public right now, that we're, with regard to section, Article 3, Section 5, the 48 hours is currently what it is. Do you want me to change that to 72 hours? Is that what the consensus is?
So let's say it would go back to, the Friday before, so it might be a little more than
Well, it's whatever you want, whatever everyone wants to do.
You have to work the hours, so that just if we can have it the Friday.
Holidays come in and then.
Well, that's right, because in the holidays, like we just had a holiday, and the Monday was closed, and of course, the office was closed. So, and, everybody deserves time off. But that also can interfere with us getting the agenda and everything else. So work whatever hours or draft whatever you like with that. Thank you.
Okay, so that's that one. Then we're going to go to section, Article 4, Section 6, the public portion. What was the consensus on where everyone wanted to move this?
Are you talking about the order?
Yeah, the order of the public portion. We wanted to move that.
So I think Ms. Sartolo made the suggestion, as well as I am agreeing with it, that to move it, and to be fair, you would then take where you have your committee reports and move it up prior to open to the public, right? I think that's pretty much what we kind of said, right?
All right, so it's going to be one session of public portion. We're going to move committee reports immediately before.
And that would be, of course, the attorney report, and all the reports, right? Let's just move those all up. Great. Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing I forgot. I don't notice, and I haven't noticed on your agendas, you do not have, at the end that I've seen, maybe I missed it, but you do not have when your next meeting is, time and date. Sometimes people take their agendas home and they look and say, okay, now I'm going to put that on my calendar. Can I suggest that be added to the end? The next meeting will be held on such and such date at this time in the courtroom, and we can
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that has to do with the bylaws, but Anne Marie you can make sure that that's done at the bottom of every agenda.
We don't need that in the bylaws?
It's not really a process. I could put it in, if everybody wants it, we could put it in, but it's not really a process. It's more of a formality that Anne Marie could add. But if you would like it in and everybody wants it in, we could put something like that in there. It's not a problem.
I'm fine with it.
All right, so we'll move all the reports up there.
And just change, make that correction of that date.
Yep, we'll do the bottom page.
So then the new, when we get it and pass it, then there would be a new date for revision on that, right? Okay, great. Thank you so much.
And then there was one more suggestion by Committeeman Miller with regards to live streaming. Is there any discussion or any consensus on what everyone wants to do with regard to that?
I'm fine with it.
And that's just clarifying, live streaming, no question, Q&A, right?
Right.
Right. Do you want to go back to live stream without questioning?
The
Or?
difference about if they're not gonna comment based on the video that we're taping it, and they're gonna watch it after
we already have the
24
YouTube, we'll
hours.
need a second.
Right, I think that the concern with that, though, is that the YouTube is not uploaded, and sometimes in a very timely manner. So it sometimes does take weeks for the public to be able to see the meeting if they did miss it.
So what if we?
Yeah, I would make housekeeping issues a
Yeah.
speed process,
I think we should make it-
but before the weekend or that following Monday, the latest.
Okay.
So
What is,
Is it an extra cost?
Typically,
What do you
48
need?
hours that it's posted. So if it's posted within 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, usually by Friday it's up.
Look at a housekeeping issue, have it up and running.
is there may I ask, is there a cost factor for live streaming?
Yes.
There is.
but,
Yes.
but why is that? Because couldn't you technically live stream from a phone to the Township Facebook page? Couldn't you live stream technically to
So, I
the
would-
Township YouTube page?
If I may? Mayor?
Yes.
So I know from years past that was tried. I know from personal experience trying watching, and it didn't work out too well for the township. So they went with a service because this room's larger and it worked a little bit better. That's where the cost came. But there would still be a cost, obviously, for the cell phone service as well, right? If you're gonna do that.
So
Just
what,
like having a Township, like, smartphone, though, on a tripod.
Right, but there's a cost that Verizon charges us a monthly bill for a cell phone. But there's always a cost, that to your answer, or to your question. That's, but we used a previous service, was several $100s, when they used it live stream. And then we also had an additional employee sitting here monitoring the computer, but if you're not asking to allow people to, answer, it could probably be done without that.
I'm willing to compromise on the 48-hour
Yeah.
for the YouTube upload. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so we want to add a provision here that the YouTube will be uploaded. Okay, so we're going to say that the meetings will be uploaded within, how many hours was it, 48 hours?
48 hours.
Friday and Monday, the latest type thing? Then I'm 48 hours after the
So
meeting.
we
don't
meet
Friday
Wednesday
night.
by Friday.
You don't have an issue.
I mean, I don't know if when you do something like that, you always put in, unless there's extenuating circumstances, right? So, that language, I don't know.
That's why I was
council
trying to
get-
say Monday.
Yeah,
the
we could say
latest.
absent extenuating circumstances.
Perfect.
I think
Thank
that
you.
works. All right, my office will go back, we'll make the revisions, we'll circulate this to everyone. So we're going to table Resolution 024-001 until the next meeting. All right, next pulled resolution.
Next poll, I believe, is 024-19 and keep counting. You asked what the people?
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know who the appointments are going to be.
Somebody's microphone, I don't know what it is.
No, it's just microphone noise. So is there going to be a motion for a specific?
Yeah, they're all in the resolution. They're all named in the resolutions.
If I may, Mayor?
Yes.
I know I sat with yourself, spoke with Committeewoman Artola, I spoke with Committeewoman Peets. I also spoke at great lengths yesterday with Committeewoman Judge Carvello, who, after several hours, said to me she would speak with Mr. Miller about these appointments. And
I did speak with
so I just want to make sure that that's conveyed.
Yes, I did speak. I mean, I think, even though speak to him about it, I think one of the concerns is that I don't know why there's no discussion on these. I'm not quite sure because, with the RFQs that came in, it wasn't just, some of them had one. Don't get me wrong,
but not all
there
of
was some of them that had, a couple of them. Is there a way to have, even at the next meeting or another meeting, just have a discussion on these RFQs?
I wasn't sent these resolutions in advance either.
I didn't have these either till today. I did not have these
Till I
till
sat
today.
down.
So,
I mean,
I mean, is there a way we can have a discussion on this can we table these? Any way of tabling these so we have a discussion at the next meeting, council?
Absolutely can do that. Make a vote. You guys can pass a vote. I mean, there's various ways you can do it. You can pass a motion to go into closed session, discuss them. You could do that now, or you could pass a motion to table the appointments until further meetings. That's the township's pleasure in terms of how they want to handle it. If there is no vote tonight, whoever is currently serving in positions would just remain as a holdover, just so everyone's aware.
And I think that the best way to, okay, I'm new on this days, but the best way is to have, some kind of discussion. So I don't know, also the one other thing with the bylaws, I'm thinking maybe, and you can maybe not agree, but prior to a meeting, and it worked very well with another committee that I know, you had you'd open up and you go into closed session for an hour before. You have discussions of whatever was on the agenda or any other business that had to be taken care of, and then you open up your regular meeting. And whatever the 9 different situations that you're allowed in executive, of course, are always followed. But what ends up happening is nobody can turn around and say, I didn't know this was on the agenda. I have no idea. And sometimes it alleviates that. Sometimes it alleviates questions that council people may have. So, well, no,
I don't wanna
because,
do that.
no, because we would start earlier. So if your meeting starts at 7, then you would open it up at, we would be in session by 6. I'm just giving, or half hour, whatever they want to do. So normally the meetings here are 7, right? So if everybody could make it, you could do 6:30 or 7 and have a discussion of what's on the agenda. And it sometimes alleviates questions and concerns. You never want to hear somebody say, I didn't know that.
right. I would be happy to table this because I didn't receive these resolutions until I sat down here. So I think that makes the most sense to table this. It was just the RFQs, though. It wasn't the selected. No.
I think Dean made himself available for all of us. He patiently going through everything. I think pretty much everybody asked every major question it was on every, I guess, you want to make available your time. Teresa sat with him in that. I know I did.
Well, I wasn't learning.
I never heard who the.
I'm sure the questions were asked. Like you said, there was many submissions.
There were.
But there was a few of those were ones that I had in that conversation first.
Right. I think that this should be just tabled for the next
work
work
session. To give me
session.
sufficient time. I don't know about everybody else's feeling.
I mean, why weren't these sent to me though?
That part.
Right. I didn't get these resolutions. You guys made these picks and I didn't know anything about it.
I think we all gave the thoughts and opinions when we sat with them. I don't know. I know I did. Jen,
I did.
Did you give your thoughts and opinions when you talked to the dean?
Yes.
So you guys talked to Dean, but we haven't had discussion.
I'm asking. I was in a discussion. What was the discussion?
Mine was just a learning thing, like what is going on
Did
with
you
this?
go over each and every pick, or you didn't give any?
I believe what I had a discussion on with Dean Pinto was that, what do you think or whatever, but I don't think it was any further than saying, I'm going to choose this or whatever. I'm not going to do that without a total committee to do that.
Like I said, I didn't say what you saw. I don't know.
It was pretty much kind of learning how and who, and that's the way I learned it. So.
I don't know, Township Administrator, you gonna make the comment, but you sat it with everybody, what you're feeling why these picks, because like I said,
I know when Mr. Miller and Ms. Carmelo were in the room reviewing them, we had numerous discussions about individual, different professionals and, why, who has been here, who has the institutional knowledge, why to continue. I know specifically about the municipal court judge. I was very vocal about that position. I know we went through these, so, I can't explain why the resolutions weren't sent to you
But is it
sooner.
normally that you
I mean,
don't,
do you think, but
you don't talk to, I mean, I know what you said, I'm sorry, Mr. Miller, but I understand what you're saying, and I understand what you had said to me, but is it normally the way that this works? This is my first time up here, so is it normally this way, or does all the committee people get together and agree to what?
that would violate the sunshine laws, right? You can't have everybody get together.
But we can fix that right now by just tabling this to the next week's work session.
I don't vote.
Yeah, I know. Well, and I don't think you're supposed to pick the professionals either.
I'm not saying I picked the professionals. I had discussions
That sounds like,
about each one of the professionals.
it sounds like you picked them and then you told them your picks. And
No, not at all.
You have to do that with me. I can't speak for everybody else.
The administrator runs the day-to-day, so we value his opinion on what professionals, we don't deal with them as much as he does. So we ask the questions, we had the opportunity to ask the questions about what are the positives and negatives of each, and do we want to consider changing? So continuity is important, especially considering, depending on the professional and depending on the type of project that they're working on. So, but if there's something that requires, exploring a change, then we would do that.
Right.
But, but yes, we are not going to know as much about these professionals as the people who deal with them day to day.
Right.
Most of the time it's the administrator. There are others.
Right. And I
who
do
work
think
here.
the most information you can get is from doing an interview as well. And there were no interviews. So I would like to see this tabled for the next meeting.
I know. Personally, I sat with him for 2.5 hours. He did not influence me, give me opinions when they asked for an opinion. I he feels confident that he put the votes out, that we, 3 or more, I guess, in each corner. Do we need 4 for these?
No, you need a majority of the
Majority.
3, so
If
3
he felt like he
majority.
had the majority, that's just my opinion. He already has the majority votes. If he feels,
You guys want to?
but like I said, I took time, I spent time and effort to speak with him, and I felt confident with the picks I made. I can't speak for Jen and everybody else, but my picks were confident and being, we don't face off everybody's discussions. We can review
Yeah, I'm gonna make a
down the
motion.
road going further, but at this point in time, I just want to take.
Right. I'm going to make a motion to table resolutions 024-019 to 024-0445 to the next meeting.
I'll second that motion.
Committeewoman Otola?
So it's just discussion on that motion. So what are you, I just want to be clear. What are you, okay, we're tabling it to next meeting, but what are you suggesting that happens between now and then?
Well, I think that it would be more appropriate for us to have at least a closed session prior to that meeting to be able to discuss these professionals.
So you're asking for a closed session?
Yes. And then following we can vote on these professionals at the next meeting.
Okay, so I guess a closed session either tonight or prior to the next meeting?
If you guys want to do it tonight, we absolutely can. We can also meet prior to the next meeting.
So we can't.
Wait, let me
yeah.
just clarify. I think
Yeah.
what the committee was saying is that the only options are, all of this needs to be dealt with in public. So the options are, if you table this, and then you have a closed section you either have a closed session at this meeting, and you go in and have your discussion, and then you come out and you continue to proceed, or you can table these till the next meeting, have a closed session at the next meeting to discuss. The vote always has to obviously be in public.
Of course.
Yeah, so there's not an additional meeting in between. It would be a closed session.
Because
This meeting
it's
or a closed-
personnel.
Yeah, correct. Closed
Personnel
session
has to be,
enclosed this session or at your next meeting if you choose to table these. That's the way that this would go. So I think the motion that the committeeman made is to table these to next meeting and then discuss these at closed session at the next meeting, if I'm correct.
correct.
I believe that's the motion, just to clarify. And that was seconded by Committeewoman Cabell. So good?
And don't you also have, a contract in this? Right, and it's let me get the area here. Mr. Miller, did you bring it up to, 024045?
Yes.
So isn't that a contractual in there also?
Mm-hmm.
That could be an executive session discussion.
Yeah.
So you brought it up to that too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's from 019 through 045. Those are all the resolutions. The motion is to move those resolutions to the next meeting with the understanding that there would be a closed session to discuss personnel issues. That is what the motion is for clarification purposes.
Committeewoman Otola?
So, sorry, the motion is to discuss it at the next meeting then?
To table all of these resolutions to the next meeting.
Okay. Yes.
We have a public meeting next, right? When is
So
the next meeting?
the next meeting is scheduled for the 24th.
Okay, and that's a public meeting?
Yes.
Okay,
But
so you
on
pass.
on the website, it says that the next meeting is the work session on the 10th.
Right, but because of because when the calendar was done, the reorg date wasn't set,
Mhm.
so.
Okay.
So it would be a motion to table these resolutions to the meeting on the 24th, again, with the understanding that you would have a closed session for personnel matters.
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Miller?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Peachy? Yes. And Mayor Pacetta?
Yes.
Right, so we have one more.
What was the other one?
The 02446, I just want to make a suggestion to the township committee as well. There were two resolutions that were on for the Sendai meeting, which we were not able to move because you didn't have a majority of the majority. You now have a majority of the majority. It's a housekeeping item, but there would need, if this township committee wants to, you can make a motion to add those two resolutions to pass those now, because it's the bills list. And there's another one. Again, it's not something you have to do, but it's just something that I noted.
Right.
Goes wrong for the Sendai meeting. Again, not something anybody has to do. You don't have to do it. I'm just bringing it up because it was discussed.
Well,
Me, Vinnie, and Gail could vote on it, and the other two could
I have to
abstain.
abstain.
Committeewoman Cavell would state everybody else can vote on it. Because you would need four, because they're financial. So you would need four.
And I wasn't here for that.
Yeah, the only reason you would abstain.
So,
Well, I
that's why.
still only have three.
Yeah, because
we
of
have-
PJ.
She was.
You want
She has to
to,
abstain.
so you can't even do it.
Can't do it.
Can't do it. Those have to be moved.
So can
Yeah,
we,
she was on the majority of the year, right?
Hmm?
She was on
No,
the
because she was
No.
off at the time.
November.
so the.
Yeah, at the
Can
time, so
we
you got
vote
to
on
do that.
024002 to 018?
Yes.
Mhm.
And can we put in 024046 with that?
Which is that? That's also,
Temporary budget appropriations?
yeah, that's okay.
Okay. And 4746.
So you're going to pass those together?
Yeah.
Okay, and just go over those numbers again?
022008.
118,
Oh, went all the way up to 18? Okay.
and then 024046 we can put on.
046, so those would be 046 and 0,
And from 19 to 45 is tabled.
okay, and 08. Okay.
So we're starting at the 024002,
Two
correct?
to 018.
Right, and then
And
we're
then
gonna
the
get
last
back,
one, 046, the temporary budget.
but the one is, the bylaws are tabled to the next.
That's tabled until we get the revisions, and from 19 to 45 is tabled.
Thank you.
I'd like to ask for a motion
Make the motion.
to pass resolution 024-002 through 024-018, also 024-046. Make a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second it.
Seconded?
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Miller?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Peachy?
Yes.
And Mayor Pacetta?
Yes. And the numbers again, the table are 01,
Table is 01,
19,
19 to 45.
Next, that'll be to the next one.
till the next meeting, January 24th.
Can I get a motion to table resolution, number 024-001, resolution number 024-020 through resolution number 024-045.
So I do have a question. Why was 024044 pulled, the meeting dates? Oh, it was just that one, was it just the one January one, or was there an issue?
Well, I definitely have questions about maybe possibly adding more meetings in November and December. I know we only meet once during those months, and I think it might be more worthwhile to offer 2 meetings those months.
So in the past, we didn't have meetings those 2 months because of the holidays, but also in November, you have Election Day you have to work around, and the League of Municipalities. So some of us go, but a lot of our professionals are not available during the week. So you have, and then you have Thanksgiving. So you have really those 2 weeks plus Election Day to work around. It's just very difficult to have 2 meetings. You might be able to do December, but I think November, because of those 3 things, is very difficult to do.
So what about December? I couldn't hear you. Did you say December?
I said December might be possible, but November is very difficult to work around.
Because you had a Sunday that you had to do the bills list. I mean, could that have been done in December? Or you had to wait till January under the Sunday?
No, we always do it in January because we have to pay.
From November
No, we had a meeting in December, but we had to pay from December
to January? Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, I mean, is there anything that has to really be closed out in December that you would need 2 meetings? That's my question.
I mean, what we have also done in the past is that if we've had things like interviews for police, or I'm just making
Right,
an
I
example, we've had
Special
a
meeting?
July meeting, and we would
Okay.
post it publicly that if we needed, I think a couple of years ago, we added one, I believe it was July or August, that we did add the second meeting if needed. So
So you can always add a meeting.
You can always add a meeting.
yeah.
Yeah. I guess, I just want us to be diligent about that, because I do recall that you guys had a July 19th meeting, and then you didn't meet till August 30th. And that was, the August 30th meeting turned into a 5-hour meeting because there was so much to cover. So I do think that it is on us to be diligent about that.
Yeah, I think that was due to vacationing and conflicts. People couldn't all get in. We try to do.
Of course.
But some are people support. So that's why those dates were moved around.
Yeah, but I think if we keep it flexible to add the
That's
meeting
right.
in case we need it.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't predict, how busy a month is going to be or what issues are going to come up.
So who would call that? Then you would have somebody, say the administrator saying, it's, really we need to have this meeting because it's so backed up.
I would think any of us could call it. I think,
Okay.
if we see that the agenda is packed, that any of us could call it. Maybe when the clerk is writing it, she could suggest it, but it's up to us to add that.
Okay, thank you, I appreciate that, because, I wasn't sure if the mayor would call that, or, seeing,
Anybody
anybody could call it. Got
I
it.
think any of us could request that.
Motion for it.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to be clear why that was pulled.
So are we pulling that, or no?
Do we want to put it back?
We can put it back.
Okay.
So, all right.
So you could just it's the last one, so you could just make a motion to pass it as is.
Okay.
Redo it. Resolutions, these are, that's.
Just 024-044. The motion would be to pass it as written. Is what it would be.
So make resolution number 024-044. Can I get a motion to keep it as is?
I'll make the motion.
To pass it.
To pass it.
Pass it. I'll second it.
Committeewoman Bartola,
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello,
Yes.
Committeeman Miller,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Peachy,
Yes.
and Mayor Pacini.
Yes. We didn't get the table. Did we get a vote?
Yeah, you tabled.
We did.
You tabled all the necessary
I-
resolutions. No, we should.
I think, did we have discussion to come in a little bit earlier for the next meeting for this? Do we agree to that?
For the closed session?
Mhm. So in other words, if the public starts at 7 and it's normal 7 at night, we could agree, maybe we come in at 6 if possible, and
Yeah.
be able to.
On January
You
24th?
could make a motion to start, the meeting would start and you'd go into closed session right away.
So you open, you
Right.
close, and then
Correct. And
when
then
Yes,
come
that's
back
how we
out.
do
public
it.
would be here at 7 o'clock,
Mhm.
you're out, you're here and working.
So January 24th, you're making a motion to open
I
at
do,
6,
I'd like to make that motion.
6 PM. Is there a second?
Is that okay? I mean, can everybody make that, or?
Well, unless I have an emergency
Well,
shipment.
I
This was
understand.
unusual.
I
I've never had to be late, but.
I mean, but, you have seconded, thank you.
Okay. Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes,
Committeeman Miller?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Peachy? Yes. And Mayor Vassetti?
Yes.
So January 24th, we're starting at 6 PM.
thank you.
I will put that in the paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna, well, you're only the class one, so it says mayor appointment. So you're making that appointment, and then the committee has their own appointment that they have to vote on. And then the rest of the volunteer appointments, you just make those. You'd be,
Just go to class one.
yeah, you're class one. 6 resident appointed to mayor, yeah, so this is appointment to what, you're gonna start with your planning board? Do you have a list? Yeah, you could just run through your list, say what the committee is, and then you could state your appointment to that committee. What is this for? Is this for planning board?
This is the planning board.
Which, all right, then you can make, you make the class one appointment as yours to the planning board. Hmm? Yeah, you could do that one first. Just call out what the committee is and then state what the appointment's gonna be. You can go through that list.
For the mayorship committee and liaison report, I would like to, in order to be fairness and everybody work together, I was looking to make some committees, or most of the committees, a chairman and a vice chairman. That way we have dual people in there, and it's more accessible to each group. I just wanted, any discussions or any objections to that?
I have a question about how vice chairman is. I mean, we appoint these, it gives each member a responsibility, and now we're kind of splitting that up. What are the responsibilities? I mean, anytime we can't make a meeting, we ask each other for backup. I just don't understand. I think it actually weakens each person's responsibility by putting it to 2, and where are the guidelines for that? I just think one person could be the liaison if they need backup or assistance or advice, they can freely ask another person. But to assign 2, I think it spreads us even thinner and kind of dilutes.
Yeah, mine would be the mayor with the chair, one vice chairman, where both people can go, but the main objective would be for the chairman to handle all urgent needs and have a discussion with somebody immediate, then they can come back to me or the township committee to discuss it. That way, if you can't make a meeting, your vice chair will be there, and it gives equal footing for everybody to have their own say what's going on.
Yeah, but then you have, like, just for example, fire department. Now they have 2 people to contact and not 1.
Well,
I think it just.
Major one, but if they can't contact, say, number 1, then they can contact number 2, and number 2 will be on board with the decision making, because you are the 2 that I would assign to each committee. Hopefully we'll get along and they'll work together. If something immediate comes up, like I said, they can't get it, like, I work days, I'm an officer, sometimes I might be busy on the call, they could go to the number 2 person. The same work process, I know Tommy works out of town, if he's in the classroom, something comes up, they could go to the second person. That was my thought process on why 2. But the primary focus would be on the first chairperson, handling everything, and the second chairperson is there for assistance and can attend the meetings to be fully informed of everything that's going on.
but the primary responsibility will be the chairperson.
So there's no bylaws for this, just so
I
everyone's
was
aware?
just gonna say that.
There are
There's no
not.
bylaws.
There's no
You want to
bylaws.
put it into the bylaw?
You could certainly, I could add in a provision that very briefly discusses that a chairperson and a vice chairman person are going to be appointed each committee, and then try to come up with some sort of a simple, without getting too, because again, this is a volunteer, you want people to show up, you
Correct.
don't want to burden people with too many laws and rules, but I could certainly try to come up with something, if that's what the township committee would like, I could just add that to the revisions to the bylaws. The only problem is, then your appointments tonight, you'd probably want to wait on those if you wanted to do it this way, because I would need to
Well, you
address
could
it with
amend it
bylaws.
at that time. If he could do the appointments tonight, and you could amend that with the,
Understanding
correct?
that the bylaws are going to be
Correct.
amended. Yeah, we could do it that way.
Yes, thank you.
Doesn't work. Doesn't
Yeah,
work.
some liaisonships don't have meetings, or they have meetings less often. I think trying to write this, each one, planning board definitely has meetings.
Correct.
And there's already the different classes so you already have two people put in place in that.
That wouldn't count. He's not saying that. He's.
No, but I'm just saying the other ones, like fire department, why do you need two?
But
I just,
sometimes people can't make both, and it would be a backup. So another committee that I know about
That's
would
my
be,
thought process.
you have the head person of the committee is their backup for any of the other committees, but also could participate. So if you want two people at that meeting, have two people at that meeting. There's nothing about being, in charge of that. It would be your responsibility to report it to the committee, right? But if there was something that, you wanted two people there, okay. If I couldn't make it and I have somebody backing me up and I said, listen, I can't make that meeting, at least you have a liaison there, right? So you want to have somebody representing.
yeah, I mean, in the past, I would inform the mayor, listen, I can't make the fire department meeting. I would just inform the mayor. I mean, I took my responsibilities very seriously. I don't think
Nobody's
I
saying
ever,
you didn't. Nobody's saying that you didn't, but this, in my opinion, I believe this also works very well, where you can always say, something, I'm just going to give an example tonight. Say you had to be at a senior meeting or something. I'm just going to, now you couldn't do it. You'd call Tommy if he was your backup and say, Tommy, I can't be there. I'll get there, but can you represent me for now? Or it works, a lot of times it works well. And if it doesn't work, by the way, you take it out. That's it. It's not that hard. So if you feel that it's a conflict at any time, you can remove it.
My thought process also is each department will now have two committee members attending, so they feel more comfortable maybe than not see eye to eye with one, they can talk to the other one, but knowing that the chairman has ultimate say of each. And that was just to help everybody out. Like, if I can't make a meeting, at least they know somebody's there. If they can't get a hold of you, there's somebody they can call. Not taking away from any main chairperson's responsibility. Just trying to, my thought process, just having access to just somebody helping them.
And then is it your vision that the chair and vice chair would kind of discuss on their own what the
Correct.
responsibilities
If there's a
would be?
decision, like if somebody in each department has a question and one might not know, the other one might know, or they could come formally and understand how the township works, and they could present it to the township or me or the deputy mayor or who's ever in that position.
I'm fine with it.
I don't have a problem with that.
Everyone's okay? Yeah, but we're not going to motion it, because remember, we tabled the bylaws. I'm taking your suggestions in. I'm going to make that revision and circulate the bylaws for everyone for review and approval prior to the next meeting, so that next meeting it can be passed. But tonight, the mayor is going to make appointments, chair and vice chair, to each committee pursuant to this discussion, with the understanding that the bylaws are going to take effect at the next meeting, and I will provide provisions for those two spots. Okay? But again, it's within your power and your authority to appoint as you see fit, and you're entitled to go to the committees and announce your appointments to each.
The next part, I'd like to bring back a couple of committees. I don't know if that has to be a motion, or I could just bring them back. To bring back community for the development of the community.
So if you want to add committees to the
Correct.
bylaws, that, again,
Well, this
I'll
is
add
bring
them.
back, I think currently in the
Yeah.
past we had these.
I will again add these to the bylaws if they're not there, assuming there's no objections from it's for efficiency at this point.
Committee development,
For efficiency.
Shade Tree Committee,
So Shade Tree was already in there.
That's what I'm saying, these are the
previously.
three that I'd like to bring back.
Yeah,
It's
community
all there.
development,
These are the three I'd like to bring
they're
back.
in there already.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're good.
New ones I'd like to try and introduce is redevelopment, flood mitigation, personnel, policies and procedures. Anybody has any objections or try to make
Redevelopment, flood mitigation.
personnel,
Mhm.
policies and procedures? Those are the three I'd like to introduce.
Flood mitigation, redevelopment, policies and procedures. What am I missing? What's the fourth one?
Personnel.
Personnel.
The policies and procedures would be one committee, I'm assuming, correct? Mayor? Okay.
So what policy and procedures are you looking at?
Just in general.
Are you talking about ordinance resolution?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, go ahead.
Okay, great.
Access for All, 2023, it was myself. 2024, for chairman, I'd like to thank Tommy Miller, vice chair, Gail Artola. Board of Education, 2023, was Jennifer Apici. This year will be chairman Teresa Carvello and Tommy Miller as vice. Board of Health, last year was Para Mosca. Going forward, 2024 will be Teresa Carvello. Vice will be Jennifer Apici.
I'm sorry, I missed that. Which one?
Board of Health.
Board of Health, thank you.
I'll give you a list.
Okay, thank you.
The building department, last year was me. I want to do it again this year. And my vice will be Jennifer Apici. Civil rights, last year was Linda Boniface. This year will be Teresa Cabello. Vice chair will be Gail Artola. Committee to improve public areas, last year was Linda Boniface. This year will be me. Vice will be Jennifer Apici. Community development, Jennifer Apici will be chair. This year will be second. Vice chair will be me, I'm sorry. Redevelopment will be myself, the chair, vice Jennifer Apici. Flood mitigation, chairman will be Gail Artola, vice chair will be Teresa Camella. Court, last year was Para Mosca. This year, Tommy Miller will be chairman. Vice chair will be Teresa. DPW, last year was myself. This year will be Teresa. Vice will be Tommy Miller. Finance, Jennifer Apici, myself as vice. Fire department will be myself. Chair will be Jen Apici. Historical committee, Tommy Miller is chair. Vice chair, Teresa. Insurance, Teresa Cavella. Vice will be Gail Artola. Library will be Tommy Miller. Vice will be Teresa Cavella. OEM will be Gail Artola. Vice will be myself. Parker Committee, Teresa Cavella, Gail Artola as the vice. Personnel will be Jen Peachy, vice will be myself. Planning Board will be Gail Artola, and Tommy Miller as the vice. And I'm going to make a mayor appointment as Jen Artola. Also, so I skipped that, for library, I was also will be deputy mayor, Gail Artola, for the library board, my appointees.
Can you repeat that one?
Wait, who's?
The library and the planning, the planning board, my appointments will be, Jen,
Wait, planning was me and Tommy, I thought.
He's talking about mayor's appointment.
mayor's.
Oh, mayor's appointee, I'm sorry, okay,
The committee's got to do their own.
Yes,
okay.
and also planning board, mayor appointment, Jen Peachy. Policies and procedures, chairperson will be Jennifer Peachy, vice will be Teresa. Police commissioner will be Gail Artola, vice chair will be Teresa. Recreation, Jennifer Peachy, vice will be Tommy Miller. Recycling will be Tommy Miller, vice will be Jennifer Peachy. Seniors Center will be Teresa Cabella, vice will be myself. Summer concert will be myself, vice will be Gail Artola. Veterans will be Jen Peachy, vice will be Gail Artola. Zoning board will be Gail Artola, I will be vice.
Shade Tree Commission will be myself. Vice Chair will be Tommy Miller. I think that's okay. I'll make copies.
Can you repeat library?
Uh,
Oh, no.
Library will be Chairperson Tommy Miller. Vice Chair will be Teresa Pavella. The mayor appointment will, I'll have Jen Vici as my thing.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make copies of you.
Yeah.
Of course.
So that's you.
I just made a little note, so I'm just correct and get you a good copy.
In a second.
Right, the planning board, right?
You're just gonna do your class one. So your class one appointment, yeah, you do class one appointments. And then yep, you do that, yep.
Alternates or no?
Yeah, you do your class, that's a class 5 alternate. No, you just do your class ones, that's it, the mayor's designate. Yeah, that's all you do. And you can appoint the alternate. And then the township committee appoints they have their own.
Mayor,
And,
yes, okay, and make it, because I know these guys, they want to stay on. So I have to,
Yeah, you make
these, all
those
these terms ended. So it's really just, so you have to place or do I have
So, John Miller, for the planning board is being reappointed. And William Figueroa.
Unless I gave you earlier.
And here, Francine is going up to a regular member, and Joe's coming back, coming back, Joe's coming back. And Russ was renewed, and Eddie Abud is going on. Okay.
The way it's written, it's.
These are the appointments new, they're alternates on the rec. Christine is going back on, Mark's going back on, and Valentina. Okay, library,
It's Chris Sherritt.
Chris. Okay.
So I start with, for the planning board, Secretary Rosemary Mako resigned. I will replace Anne Marie Wells as her replacement. I renewed John Millers as vice chair. I don't do this.
Which one? The new term?
Yeah, the new term, William Figueroa. The zoning board, I replaced Dave Kima, his term's up with Francine Pasquarelli. I renewed Michael Warren, renewed Groupon Buhia, renewed Guy Cirillo. Alternate one, Eddie Abud for Francine, because Francine moved up. Renewed alternate one, Russell DeFranco. Municipal court judge.
That's a professional.
Yeah.
So you're gonna leave that, that's
Yeah.
professional.
Leave that there.
Recreation committee, I have assigned Valentina Marut. Renewed Mark Wrigley. Renewed Christine Holtz. Alternate one will be Sean Smith. And alternate two will be Lacey Wrigley. The library board, Chris Sheridan. Sam Miles resigned, so Chris Sheridan will take his spot. And the designee,
Whoever you want as your designee. Could be anybody.
yeah, could have.
And then you put it down.
Yeah, I didn't do that one. So I would pick Teresa.
What am I doing?
Mayor's designee.
I designated for the library board?
You chose some.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think-
you already,
Oh,
We've done that one already.
Oh,
Didn't you choose?
that's why I was blank.
Hmm.
Oh, never mind.
Well, thank you anyway, but I think you chose.
You did, you have that one already.
All right, I think that's
Thank
pretty
you.
much it. Did I miss any? I think I got them all.
Perfect.
I know I went over the list.
Yeah.
There you go. And I think, anything else? Anything else?
Now you're gonna, there's committee appointments. Is the committee has to appoint to the zoning board? I believe there's an appointment to the planning board as well. Am I right? The committee has an appointment to the zoning and the planning board? Yeah, the committee does the zoning board, township committee does the zoning board.
There is no committee on the zoning board.
No, is it, it's on here, committee.
No, there is no committee on the zoning board.
Okay.
That's why I was wondering why there was assignments
So,
to it.
the only reason I'm asking is because on the agenda.
No, it's supposed to stay,
So it
yeah,
stays, so
it
there is no.
stays an
appointment.
autonomous board,
All right,
correct?
so then
They're not
disregard
supposed to
that.
have,
So we have to,
We're gonna disregard that, so there's no.
I think so, yeah.
we have to amend this agenda.
Yeah, well, they're just not gonna make an appointment on the agenda. There's gonna be no appointment.
So the amendment on the agenda.
Yeah, you can just take it off.
Got it.
Take it off the agenda, so the committee appointment to the zoning board is gonna be removed from the agenda, because there is no appointment. Okay? Everyone understand, you can make a motion, all in favor, if you want.
Why couldn't you have one?
I mean,
The way the
there is
zoning,
one,
I'm just asking.
go ahead, Gail.
no, go ahead. The way the zoning board is designed, it's that we don't have control over that.
It's a
Well, you
separate
wouldn't have
autonomous,
control over the liaison, would you?
no, it's a separate autonomous body. I'm just confused by why it says a committee appointments to
Right.
zoning board. I don't
Right.
understand,
Right, didn't you just do that?
why
did.
it's on there.
Maybe that's why it's on there. 'cause
Maybe
you
it's
did
on
it.
separately, I don't, it's just confusing.
no, it's because
Let me see here.
the township committee had designated.
The way that was written out was different from
I just don't know why it's separate from there on here. It's just appointments, it was made in his list,
Right.
so you could disregard, skip that. I don't know why it's a separate line item.
Right.
All right? And you can move on, Mayor. You did the,
motion to adjourn the meeting. Anybody want? I'm looking for a motion to close the meeting.
I'll make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
Anybody second? Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Next.
Do I show up tomorrow or do I not show up tomorrow?
Yes.
Yes, you were reappointed.
You're reappointed.
It's not a mayoral, the zoning board is not a mayoral appointment. We all have to vote on the zoning.
so that's why it's separate.
That's why it says.
Now,
So someone, so there needs to be a motion.
Reopen it.
Good.
I'll second your motion to reopen the
Reopen
meeting.
it. That's-
Okay, so now we all have to say yes or no to the
Yeah.
appointments he made for the zoning.
Good. So you can do a voice vote if you'd like.
Yes, do a roll call, I'm sorry.
Yep.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Edward.
Okay. Is there a motion, we opened up, but is there a
Yes.
motion on the zoning board appointments?
I'll make the motion. I'll second.
Committeewoman Otola?
Yes.
Committeewoman Judge Covello?
Yes.
Committeeman Miller?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Tucci? Yes. And Mayor Vassetti?
Yes.
There you go. All right, you got them all?
Now we can
All
adjourn.
right.
Now make them, ask for a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Next meeting is the 24th at 6 p.m.
Thank you.
It's straightforward.
This is the most confusing list you can put together. I was trying to figure out.
Yeah.